rest of the drop game.
Okay, these players, they're all pretty rich, right? From their... being victorious throughout multiple tournaments. I'm pretty sure they're pretty rich. They have good sponsorship deals on all that. Yeah, property, whatever, some houses, some Mercedes-Benz perhaps. But playing in this tournament at least gives you a chance to play versus all of these teams, right? Maybe the prize pool isn't that big for them, but when you're gonna like, isn't this fun for you, like, to actually play competitive Dota?
Yeah.
So they should try hard. It's not,
of course. No, yeah, 100%.
I mean, how many games can say, and how many teams within the limited number of games that can say this? I believe every player in this game has at least $1 million in prize money earned, possibly over the last 3 years, really. And yeah, it'll be fun. I'm really happy we see Earth Spirit. This is probably my favorite hero for GH to play.
Also, this pairing though, I love this pairing.
And I just thought if there was a guy that would play Earth Spirit Core, it's the mid player for Nigma, Weha. I actually hope that we see that, because that is such a sick hero to put him on.
It's been buffed up a little bit, and I thought that it might be picked up mid more often after all the recent buffs, mostly to his attributes, right, like the agi and strength. However, they did play it once or twice mid, and it failed miserably. Like it felt like he just did not have, not in V-Save Charity, I think they played it, and it just didn't feel like he has as much impact as with some other heroes that he plays.
I think, but the saving grace of this part is they have the second pick, so it's the fact that they might be able to save the We Are GH hero to the last pick, but I think maybe they could. You do have the Grim Ember though, and that's a very strong lane in the side lane, so potentially, I think if it was Ember v Earth Spirit mid, then sure, I could see it maybe happening, but it depends on how the draft goes for now.
Interesting, Shadow Demon completely ignored. We was talking about this with Harry Freak the other day, but it feels like in CIS, Shadow Demon is this ultimate top pick. In Europe, it's a lot more Grimstroke, specifically from Liquid, and now we see OG. I assume it's just because it's got more possibilities. Like the hero can just sort of add a lot more value to your draft, whereas Shadow Demon is more reliable.
I like both heroes overall.
I think it's the pacing of the game though. Sorry, go on.
No, you can take it away.
Thank you. I was like, oh yeah, Grimstroke. No, but I think it's the pacing of the game, right? Think about how these teams play. You want to have your lanes pushed out and then play off the aggression. We saw how OG were dismantled against Liquid because they weren't able to keep their lanes pushed out quick enough. So when they made their classic aggressive plays, the information was all in Liquid's favor. They would always be able to rotate. So for example, Grimstroke, you're able to instantly just push out that wave and make those plays. So I think it just boils down to EU has a higher pace compared to CS, which might be a little bit slower and more kind of clunkier in their moves.
That's actually a really good point, because we always talk about wave clear, wave push. We've been talking about this for a decade at this point, but instant wave clear is relatively rare nowadays, and it feels like if you play a game without any, you're naturally going to just feel your map constrict.
It's the range, right? It's the fact that he doesn't even need to be near the wave, right? He just looks at it and goes, poof.
You just have that Aetherlands build, perhaps. You have the talent for the range on Grimstroke. The hero is just a complete support overall. Can bring you a lot of aggression on the offlane or the safe lane or wherever you combo him. I like it on the offlane a little bit more because you have more angles to actually use that stroke of fate, and you don't have to play around your ring spell as much. But like you just said, the outpush is here for both sides. Now I'm thinking, Nigma, they have picked this Kotl. Now GH loves to play both of their first picks, and if he plays that Kotl like Pexu yesterday, that might be a lot of fun too, because Pexu maxed out Illuminate, and there you go. That's your instant wave clear as well for Team Nigma.
They go for the Necro. We've seen this on both Weha and Mind Control. So in that sense, it makes sense for Nigma because it hasn't given away their lanes yet. Also, really good synergy with Coddle because you just nuke into mana into one other nuke. It's a lot of damage and heal that gets pumped out.
I actually love it with Earth Spirit as well.
Yeah.
If it's the side lane Mind Control with the Earth Spirit there to support him, it's very strong in the laning stage as well. You have that Brawler, but also even onwards in the game, if it's not offlane Necro, it works just as well.
I just don't know how strong it is though in the offlane. Like if you look at this Grim Ember lane, very formidable. If you pick up an active 4 that can maybe also come and connect, Necro doesn't really do a lot under pressure.
I will say I've always preferred when you have an Earth Spirit, you want to play with cores that can be independent on the side lane, because then if you rotate towards mid, Necro kind of wants to be alone for a little bit. So yeah, you need to secure it, but assuming this is a support Spirit, you can always just pull the creep wave, mess with the mechanics. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Weaver, this is a hero that Liquid's been using to great success as both a carry and an offlaner. The Ags just doesn't seem fair, and especially against the Necro.
Versus Necro, yeah. I wanted to say that. With that Aghanim's now you actually have a good save. So you didn't pick that Shadow Demon, you don't have the saves for the Reaper side, but now with the Weaver, if he gets a good lane, if he gets a good start and gets that Aghanim's early, it comes into play. Plus, it's a natural born vessel builder. Now they have two. You have the Weaver and the Ember Spirit to do that for you.
You just have a lot of reach now to get on top of the Coddle and take him out at the start of the fight. We've seen numerous times. Again, maybe I'm just a Liquid fanboy at this point, but Insania on the Coddle just constantly getting off these huge ults, turning around fights for his squad.
By the way, we didn't mention the interaction between Grimstroke and Necro. Even though Necro is picked into it, I actually like the Grimstroke there because of the Phantom's Embrace on your Ghost Shroud. It can be a little bit difficult to deal with. You can't get rid of it. In the laning stage, you can get that Phantom's Embrace early on as well.
It prevents him healing up. Yeah, it's nice.
Wow.
They have picked it before.
A Weaver and an Ember.
Yeah. They have picked it before. It has been played, and they would pretty much play it still as your safe laner that they completely leave alone. He doesn't join fights very early on. He gets that Vlad, takes Rosh alone while they're pretty much creating spaces for, and then he joins afterwards. But as you said, Weaver and Ember, there's quite a lot of control for this Ursa.
It's a nice combination. I would assume now, would you guys agree that this will be a Coddle Ursa safe lane? Because it allows the Ursa to just go like raw stats, rush phase, and you just spam mana on him. He gets Qs into many auto attacks.
No, I think this is going to be just mainly the Weehaw Ursa. You then put OG in a position where you force potentially the Ember to be a side lane, and then you put it into like you basically have two lanes which Ember isn't too happy about, right? Ursa mid, Necro off lane. So you put it into that lane. I think the Ember will have a better time in the side lane, but yeah, I think they're just trying to force out the draft right now. It's one of those picks where they have last pick, right? So we can choose wherever it goes, but it does force OG to have to react quite heavily because of the Ember factor.
Yeah, I guess I agree.
It doesn't sound like a very enthusiastic
There is
agreement.
some flex though. If you remember, in the last few weeks, Ember has... Okay, the last few days, Ember definitely hasn't been played as a 4, but it is possible to do so as well. And then you have the Weaver too that can lane versus Ursa on the lane. And we get ourselves an Invoker now that can lane versus anything.
I almost brought this hero up in the pregame. Like, I love seeing Invoker, and you think about Invoker teams, it's OG and Nigma, and I'm really glad we get to see it to open up the series. Very, very good here. You look at the Nigma lineup, it's all about getting that initial pick off. They're very much a run-at-you squad, and assuming this is a Quas Wax Invoker, the Tornado EMP just effectively stops the whole track.
How easy is it to play Invoker with 200 ping, by the way?
Well, you only have to hit 2 spells, right? So,
alright.
So you got 100 ping to hit each spell. Should be good.
And earn Vessel, that's it.
Oh, okay, yeah. But no, like I think Invoker, actually, you just touched about the aggression, and I think this hero is probably one of the best against that early aggression, right? You take away their mana, it's that big disengage from range. You have the Vessel, but like I think it's such a solid hero that I'm surprised we haven't seen Pit more when the meta was so heavily kind of skirmish based.
It's funny, this brings me back to playing against Wings at, I think it was ESL Katowice, like 2018. They used this really crazy strat with like Veno and Invoker and Weaver, and you just have all these things that require attacks. And you have the same scenario here where you cold snap somebody with a bug on them, they're going to constantly get stunned. You have the Phantom Embrace and the Weaver Swarm. So you're going to have to waste a lot of attacks, and heroes like Necrophos, like Coddle, like you just don't deal with that very well at all.
You can't deal with it.
And you're in a big disadvantage here as Nigma if you don't find an immediate scythe kill, I feel, to open a fight.
Yeah, you see, by the way, Team Nigma actually ban out the Brewmaster right now, so they understand how big of a flex pick this Weaver is. They're also expecting that position 3 and Weaver position 4.
It also puts them in a position where I'm not a big Brew fan, but if this would ever be a Brew game, when you have an Ursa, it's like you just take away the Ursa factor, and it's just a simple fight, right? Like no matter what, potentially if it's Miracle, still playing the hero to be picked. Like it's such an easy way to take these fights.
And last pick's coming in. Remember, Nigga will have the overall last pick. The question is going to be, is it something special? Broodmother is potentially pretty devastating here. And immediately Bloodseeker. Wow. So covers their Weaver pick. I imagine pushes it to the 4 position. We'll now see a Bloodseeker carry, perhaps, or offlane? Ember offlane?
Offlane Weaver, position 4 Ember, perhaps.
It's not bad.
Your Bloodseeker.
Alright guys, Cinderen's on the analyst, so normally I would save some predictions here, but I'm always cursed when Cinderen's doing analyst, so I'm not saying what lanes are, just to be...
No, I mean,
I like the M4.
Obviously, you put the Weaver on the core because you're playing versus Ursa, right? That should be the reasoning behind it. Maybe they won't do it because they don't like it throughout the game, but I think it's good because it will give you that agonyms earlier too.
Alright,
you want your Quasmax Invoker here, deal with this.
Take this TA to the face.
Interesting. So I'd say not standard drafts. OG with a little innovation. I expect the 4 Ember solely because it pretty much counters the Ursa instead of the reverse if you're not forced to lane against them. But picking TA into an Ember that could be core is still a very confident maneuver, but if you were to look at a draft and think Nigma would be confident, it's with Weehaw on the TA. They've been first 2ing this hero in the past, and pretty standard stuff from them. What do you guys favor here?
I kind of favor Nigma just because even though OG has that ability to take these really nice fights, I think the pairing of Earth Spirit plus TA, that double jump, if they blow up the Invoker at the start of the fight, I don't think you're going to care too much about what OG has to offer. So yeah, I think I'm going to probably have to go with Nigma on this one.
I'll just go with the OG for the heck of it. I like their draft as well. It looks funky. It looks completely in OG style as well. There's high mobility on all of these heroes. They'll be able to collapse early on. We'll see.
I am the host, so I don't need to make a prediction, but I would say that we'll likely see some chaos around the Roche Pit, likely very early on. And we're joined now by 2 interesting faces, Toby and Sindlo. How you guys doing, guys?
Do you want to try that again, Kyle? Interesting? Like, do you want round 2?
What do you mean? That's a compliment. You guys have very unique features.
See, Kyle, here's the thing. When you talk about a draft and you say it's interesting, it's not a compliment. But you talk about my face and you say it's interesting, then it is a compliment. So how do I know when it's a compliment and when it's not?
Just assume if I'm talking about you, I have only friendly intentions, Cinder, and I love you. And you know what else? I love DOTA, so if you wouldn't mind helping us break down OG Nigma.
Yeah, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, Kyle.
Gotcha.
Love this talent.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. Pause.
Okay,
Anyway, let's transition off those guys, and we can go directly into the game. As I really want to hear from the
take it away, guys.
the 3rd analyst. What do you think, Sind?
I don't know. I feel like this game looks like all over the place. My prediction for the game is we have 2 kills per minute. That will be my prediction. I'm not going to pick a winner, but I'll pick 2 kills per minute.
That sounds pretty safe with an OG lineup.
It's super high pace. We were speculating, by the way, when we saw the Ursa pick that Nigma might choose to put Weehaw in the safe lane on the Ursa and get Miracle mid hero, but they did get the TA for Weehaw and put Miracle's Ursa in the safe lane. So they're still sticking with the Wii mid. This team has diverged from that once in a while, where they've chosen to let Weehaw play safe lane a little bit, Miracle mid, but sticking to the stables here. These teams, though, like, this is honestly, I don't know, if you took a snapshot of this half a year ago and you asked which region is this draft from, you would say this is CIS Dota, right? It's actually just so much fighting, so many stuns, so much mobility, so much mid game. But that's really popular and really strong in Dota right now. So these teams will obviously adapt, and you know what? We've probably got to mention it. Going into this tournament, people were probably expecting this to be one of the top series, but currently OG is dead last with 0-4, and Nigma is in 5th place with 1 and 2. So for OG to not get relegated, have a chance of not getting relegated, they have to win the series.
Yeah.
Bottom 2 get relegated to Division 2.
Yeah, if Nigma take this, it's going to make it so both the OG squads are actually Division 2 teams now. That's a bit rough.
Can Seed still technically...
You know, we leave that for people like Kyle to work at, because that's actually his job. But top lane, our job is to look for the fights. Miracle dropping very, very low. Seb still believes he's got this fight in him, and he does. Spilling first blood against Miracle. Kura going the Illuminate first build. There's some decent damage into Seb to finish off the job. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade-off, but call for some... And that's all that really matters, right? I think I need to go talk to...
Mind you. Spell of this lane that both teams want to play around, so I think Sumail will be... Oh, Courier... Oh, got it.
He didn't get the tankers.
Oh, he didn't get them. He tried to dodge the Earth Spirit, yeah.
Yeah, he's getting the courier to head down south. Funny thing is, though, like, Notel saw GH, but he was moving over to do the pull. So I don't think his eyes were looking at it. Top lane, Seb running through the trees. Kuro trying to stick with him, and now there's another courier. Seb's courier trying to get to him. The blast coming from Keeper of the Light. Yeah, it does connect with Seb. 14 HP. He'll turn for the Blood Right. Hilariously enough, oh, he's coming back down again. Seb wants to die or fight. At this point, he wants to run. There's just not enough mana in Keeper of the Light to get enough damage out.
He's not going to get him if he tries.
He would need to channel for too long as well.
Oh no, he ran so far down and get turned on almost by Sox.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, that's great.
You still got 2 kills a minute. Miracle jumps forward. Blood Right it again, but Kuro and Miracle with just Delta split.
So this, let me see if I can finish off this bot lane quickly. So because Nigma have all of this magic damage between Necrophos and Earth Spirit, Sumail needs to max out Flame Guard, and when it hits level 2 or especially level 3, it might be strong enough that it can sustain through the first volley of spells if he dodges one, and that makes him incredibly strong with a level 2 Inkswell. Like, this Ember Grimstroke lane really pops off at level 3, but they need to get there first.
Rolling ball, able to connect. No tell, looking for the double stun, and Mind Control has to split with GH, and Sumail can salve up. He's got the extra space to do so. There's your fun part of that lane. There's one lane we haven't really dug into a little bit, and I think we need to when we look at the CS on it. Weeha is currently 7-18-4 versus the 8-0 Invoker going Quas Wex build for mid 1.
Yeah. This is a very TA favored lane, and obviously mid 1 is playing on high ping, so a couple of disadvantages there. Even in a normal setting, if you will, TA should be winning this lane. Maybe not this much, but no surprise here. It's Weeha's probably single best mid hero, and it's a lane dominator.
Going again on bottom lane. Sumail just running down Mind Control. GH with the rolling boulder, trying to create an extra bit of space. Mind Control's got stick charges available, and now he's coming down, and the courier also wants to die. Sumail looks at it. As he looks, he dies.
Top lane.
Yep,
2 kills per minute. We need another kill here.
But you're gonna get it. Miracle's no way he's gonna get back in time. At least Kura can hit the blast on both. Nope, just on Saxa.
So this is obviously a huge side benefit of No-Tail and Sumail playing aggressively bottom, is that they buff up Seb a lot in the top side for Thirst, and he can just he can fight the Ursa, actually. Oh, GH found No-Tail. Okay. Good. 2 per minute still.
Yep.
We need more kills soon.
We're keeping on the par. Hey, we also, if we count courier kills as half kills, like, you're even ahead of your predictions at the moment.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Anything that makes me right, I'm a fan of.
Another Blood Right, Kuro and Miracle. Forever living in the world of defense. Yep, they are.
The last time you saw Ursa getting zoned by Bloodseeker? That's,
I don't know.
oh my god, he's actually dying. Almost.
Nope. Enough to force a TPR from GH. You'll have to salve up Miracle.
Feels a little crazy not getting at
Oh,
least
he's gonna
one.
in the mid pause, you could see the attack fly towards Miracle to cancel the salve. It's only 1/3 the duration.
I think not having one value point in Blinding Light in this lane is, like, I get that this new trend or whatever that maybe Liquid started it, I don't know if they did, but with this Max Illuminate build on Caudal to just put pressure and have damage, I get it, but if you look at the lane you're facing, Blinding Light is insane value. Like, all of these 2 heroes are going to do is they're going to run you down. Shukuchi, Thirst, and Blood Right just run at you. Just one Blinding Light could have saved Miracle so much trouble, in my opinion. So
They just have to burn a second salve on Miracle.
yeah.
To get him up, and he has to wait back behind the tier 1 tower before there's time to fight. This now abandons Mind Control. Hey, No-Tail as well.
Sounds familiar.
No-Tail and Seb would love to have a go. Now rolling Bulber up on the top. Seb gonna get caught out. The blast. There's that big damage they're looking for. Miracle will be silenced for a quick moment, but GH gets the last little swing of the club in. But Saxa quick runs away, and he should be able to gather up both of these bounty runes, even with Kuro making a quick run. Shukuchi movement speed.
Oh, you didn't
It's
get it.
Kuro's. But I think
But
Kuro
he
loses
doesn't have
his life
Blinding
for
Light,
that.
so now he might get. Oh, GH just has to cover. Right,
But mid one's coming in
never mind.
later. Says the Keeper of the Light up and towards the air. He's not Keeper of the Air. Cold Snap, and he's hoping for a denial against Roshan, but with the Cold Snap hitting, he just doesn't have the time to get in the pit.
So, Midwin with that kill is actually not doing too bad here. He's 400 gold behind the TA in minute 6. I think that's pretty much par for the course, even under usual circumstances. So, when you consider what these heroes bring to the table right now in the game, TA will want to hit a lot of jungle creeps and farm up toward the Deso or Dagger. Invoker has so many plays on the map, and he's really good this game. I think he's actually good against the entire enemy lineup until they get BKB on TA. So mid one has plenty of potential here. Gonna see how he chooses to rotate. His mana pool is not the best right now. After getting their auto kill.
They want to go up on top. Luma's going to connect. GH needs the rolling boulder forward. And he's actually found his target. Weaver, a little bit far up. Doesn't have Shikuchi. 1 more second available. He's got 1 charges. And in fact, going back in for the fight, Weaver staying on top of the Earth Spirit, who will complete his TP away to safety. And Miracle and Kuro both thought some pressure was being relieved, but Bloodseeker so heavily buffed up. Ready to fight. Doesn't even matter if he's got the 5 Fury swipes on him.
And he was so fast with only really the Ursa and the Earth Spirit being low. Imagine if there's one more hero pressured on the map at the same time. Like if Samael, as he's doing right now, starts diving mind control. He can't get rid of the level 3 Flame Guard alone, so he's just getting bullied.
And now you got a almost over 500 movement speed. Bloodseeker looking to dodge the Illuminate. Ursa, he's solo underneath the tower.
21s though.
Now they got the kill on mind control. Isolated killed off, didn't even level up the Ghost Shroud. 1 charges will give him a little bit of extra life, but that's all. Somehow just spirits for style, no other reason. But Weeha's gone jungle and he's looking for his own farm up now. Flash farm up into that Desolator. He's got treads coming out in the courier for the moment. The bottom lane, no tell. Is there an extra stun to land? There at least is one from the Ember Spirit, but mind control and GH trying to work against this Ember Spirit. Flame Guard's got a little extra time on it. Keeper of the Light will die in the meantime. Weaver catching Kuro out of the outpost while Miracle then wants to get his own jump in, but Dark's going to complete his duty. Somehow does get away on the bottom lane.
He needs a refill anyway. This doesn't feel bad at all. He traded resources with these 2 heroes down here. He drops a Remnant, ports back, refills bottle, gets a new TP and back into action. And mind control has to play super careful once again. Okay, that's a bit ambitious.
Yep, make a break for the trees.
They didn't even find it yet.
GH is going to arrive. They're still at level 6 for mind control, so they can't get a quick pop. I think Kuro should also be a little careful if the fight's going to begin on bottom lane. Mid 1 and Seb both rotated towards the top. And Seb, he's got 475 movement speed, level 6 eruptures up, and Kuro, well, the faster you run, the faster you die. He knows he can't survive, and Seb gets the kill. I was optimistic for the defense, but the second he threw out the blast, he was revealed.
I'm still a bit baffled by this. Was this the same thing that Insania did? That inspired, like whoever started this? Is this a thing on Caudle that you go 2-0-2?
I saw it from OG Seed yesterday. I've seen it today, and yeah, I've seen Insania do it once. I don't know who started it though.
Oh, mid lane.
Yeah, GH has to help out, but I don't know if he thinks he can help out. He can rolling boulder into a wave. A Miracle's going to survive. He's got 21 charges up his sleeve and an extra 3 armor thanks to the broom handle.
Fast Seb though, 750 move speed.
And Reaper Scythe. Well, there doesn't go move speed. There goes Samael under a tier 1 tower.
Whoops.
That's going to be the first Necrophos, like Reaper Scythe level 1 that I've seen been successful in a good week.
Saxa also dying to Weeha.
Alright, I guess OG hold both outposts, so
True.
That's balance in all things Dota. So Weeha is still getting pretty damn big. Now 1,000 gold away from having his Desolator completed. Mind Control's already got the double braces. You're not getting the same build up from GH, however, he's going to go for that Spirit Vessel. It's going to be a hell of a lot of life on the Earth Spirit. Kuro wrapping around the back, puts the Observer Ward down. Saxa coming forward. Inkswell's been given out here from No Tail, so he looks for the extra stun, and Kuro will go down. Weaver's able to take care of that one. Silence on the Earth Spirit, starts his TP. Is there a stun in range? Is there enough damage? Just don't walk and you're fine, GH.
No point in seeing change yet from Samael. And I think it's a good choice in this game to not level that. Even 1 value point is arguably not that great in the lane he just played. He wants max Flame Guard. So it's understandable. In that situation, it could have given them a kill. But gotta look at the big picture of what led them to the state of the game they're in right now, and maybe.
They still going to TP back, and there's 4 heroes ready to take a tier 1 tower. And it almost feels a bit odd to see OG taking objective-based gaming inside of buildings as opposed to just directly into heroes.
Yeah, kill each other, guys. It's less than 2 kills per minute. Get on it.
Yep, please.
Go dive.
Heroes ready to go. The Will-O-Wisp is up and running. OG aren't going to dive this, however. It still looks like Nigma don't want to fight. Miracle is in recovery mode up on top lane. And he's okay with that as long as Weeha's able to have a very good game. Backed up is completely out of mana, but don't worry, you've got to keep her light for that.
Well, gotta pop a trap on Seb here, trying to get some harassment, doesn't really manage. And it looks like OG are just gonna try to keep the pressure up. I like it here. Like, you're hitting a super strong timing right now, with Invoker having the levels, Ember level 4 Flame Guard. You have level 4 Inkswell, which you can put on Ember, Weaver, or even Bloodseeker. So, plenty of good friends for the Grimstroke. You just want a fight to start so that you can turn it into a tower push. And, well, Nigma didn't give it to them.
Mid one's found Miracle. Level 9 Invoker versus level 7 Ursa. You may need a little extra help, but then a smoke maneuver from Nigma. Also ready for the same.
This makes it very obvious to mid one that Miracle knows exactly what's going on, or that they're planning a bait, right? He knows that Miracle obviously noticed the Ghost Walk, and if he chooses to start farming a camp while he's Ghost Walk on top of, it means he has allies coming in. So it actually, in a way, it kind of ruined the smoke play to an extent, whereas maybe if he played a bit more defensive, they could, they might still get him mid though.
Yep. Right after that Invoker, the Soulbinder's out, no tell, hoping for some kind of combination with that, and that's why you got the double rupture to work for it. Kuro letting them battle underneath the Will-O-Wisp, but has been taken out now. Nigma can just stand and wait off the rupture, which has now happened, and get ready back to fight.
Those are big spells on cooldown now.
Yeah, OG's coming to fight themselves. TP's coming in, Inkswell's off cooldown, Samel ready to go for the jump. Weeha's probably going to be your biggest target you'd want to get. Mind Control Miracle, everyone's grouping up together, and now the Spirit jump forward. It is going to be Weeha. The stun control is absolutely perfect. He's down for 46 seconds without buyback available. Weaver and Bloodseeker both looking for the Ursa, and the Tornado will send him up. No way to run away, but he did buy a little extra time for his teammates to come over. But the Blood Right, is it going to be enough? Miracle enrages and gets back to the tier 1 tower. Can't say him the same for GH, and actually even back at the tower is not a safe place to be. Samel spirits himself forward, finds the kill. Mind Control would love to get a Reaper Scythe kill and get something in return for all of this, but you know what? Seb's still ready to fight himself. Coming between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower, doesn't find exactly what he's looking for.
The spells OG have right now are just too powerful. I don't think Nigma should be looking to push towers yet. They need a BKB on TA, and ideally they need one item on Mind Control, like a mech, a pipe, anything. Because they don't have enough sustain in the fights. Like they die to this burst spell combo of Inkswell on Weaver or the Ember just jumping in, and they can't really counteract it. They don't have any saves, and they already used their Ignis obviously beforehand on the Evoker kill. So pushing into that seemed a little bit too optimistic. Whereas OG, they can maybe try to do something of their own. Again, because the timing is kind of favoring them right now, I feel. Oh, melee roll.
GH goes in, kicking back Invoker back underneath the tower. He does have the swirl up on him, gets the stun over on Necrophos, and they wanted him to have the Reaper Scythe. That extra control time on mid 1 to allow Weeha to get there. He didn't buy Blink Dagger, and he's still actually going for a BKB after the Desolator.
And Mind Control, he couldn't get off the Reaper. He tried 3 times, but he was Cold Snap earned. Very heads up quick play from mid 1 to obviously prevent that. GH looking for a rune, it's not there.
Just finds Weaver.
Yep.
Miracle's had a lot of time up on top lane now. Almost completed up the Vlads. He just needs 400 gold for that.
That does not feel like a strong Ursa right now, I gotta say. 15-minute Vlad's phase against this lineup that have so many counters to your hero, it's tough, man. I think...
And do you want to get Roshan? Then that's going to be a hard task against OG.
Yeah, for sure. Like, this, to me, this is not a good Ursa game. I think the hero has way too many problems in this until it gets
Reaper Scythe, that's all going on to Seb, however, and the damage just wasn't enough. Rolling ball of forward, maybe with the Ignis. No, Soulbind Miracle and GH both have to start backing up as Seb is currently Speedy Gonzalez trying to find his new target. With an Inkswell, Sleight of Fist jump to the back line. Samel's a little too late for that one. Still battling at their own tier 1 tower. Nigma, 5 heroes grouped up together. At least they can get the heal from mind control in 1 second time and maybe stay alive as Seb continues to speed around. And now the jump comes in from Samel. With the Spirits committal forward, they can just push through. And Seb, he is at 968 movement speed. Nigma, you can't run from this. This is the bullet train of OG under the tier 3 tower. He'll find the kill. He'll lose his life, but it's all for the spectacle that is OG.
Oh, you love to see it, man. This is like complete caveman Dota, dude. Let's go. This is everybody just run. I mean, not in the negative sense of they're just running and not thinking, but more in the sense of me smash, and enemy team's like, no, we smash. And then, well, OG smashed a bit better here. And again, the primary thing that does this is if Nigma's first volley of spells doesn't give them key kills, they run out of steam. They need the Reaper and they need the Ignis to do stuff because the enemy team has way too low and quick cooldowns that have high impact, right? There's Bloodrite, there's Invoker's Tornado EMP, Ember is a cooldown machine, Grimstroke is a cooldown machine, Weaver is a cooldown machine. So every time you have your big ults, you need to make it count. You need to win these fights.
Rolling boulder. GH going for another one. Goes in, gets the kick back over on the Invoker. They don't have extra detection. And they do. They've already dusted him up. So mid one under trap after trap. And now the blast from Keeper of the Light will come in. Mid one will fall. We're getting a little extra breathing room to work with. Especially as Invoker is dead for half a minute. So we get our 17-minute items start to arrive.
Yeah, let's look at the item build from Samel as well. Going for the immediate value of getting Crystallis and now straight into Deso. And he's getting the Imp Claw. He's going to have insane physical damage right now. I like the idea. The enemy team is bound to have some natural, or to aim to get magic resistance just because look at the rest of your team you're with, right? Like you want magic resist if possible against this stuff. So he's already preparing for the next step. Seb gets the outpost, man. He has a very early Halberd, just ruining either Ursa or TA's fight easily. Now on the Bloodseeker.
I don't know if OS is really that much of a hero. His fight's already ruined from the start. He just hit level 10.
I would just say I would hate playing Ursa this game. That's my opinion. Like, it is so hard. He needs to play. Okay, let's list all the problems he has.
Do we have time?
Slight chains.
I don't think you don't have time. The fight started up on top lane. Rolling boulder forward. As mid one is being initiated on, but Notel gets the double silence out. The Reaper Sight does not kill mid one. The Ignis will buy an extra bit of time, but this easy stun lock from Grimstroke with the Inkswell will do the work. But now TA. Weehar has arrived. He got himself silenced. He's still on the edge of the blood, right? Mind control. He barely lives through this. The mech charges, able to actually get the extra wands off too. Weaver's looking for the rebuttal. Looking to get through the back lines onto mind control. He's got the bug on him while Seb has just dove the base. Yeah, why not? Everyone's low enough anyway. Just watch that speed counter start to rise. As Samel's got himself a double kill. We're at 900 movement speed. Another jump forward from Samel, but Ursa will enrage up and they're gonna find the kill. Samel's streak gets ended by Weehar. But you got another big stun. Sucks is just a delivery service at the moment, but Weehar, he's the executioner. Killing off the bugs inside the tier 3 tower. Seb's not done. He still wants another kill. Looking for the fight onto GH. One extra control is something there. Right now, the only thing that's there is Weehar. He's the last man standing for Nigma. One more attack. In fact, the TA trap will let him get the kill, and the BKB is here and ready to go once again. Bloodseeker will start his TP out. There's no Mel Bash just yet. We're on 25s. The 20 minutes into the game, and Nigma, they're trying to keep up with your tally, Sint. They're trying desperately.
Yep, I mean, we're close. It's 37 and 20. 37 kills, 20 minutes. So just a couple more. But yeah, really the saving grace this fight is that Weehar got to hit so many times for once. He actually got to go on multiple separate heroes. OG got really eager, started diving the tier 2 tower. Got a little bit out of position. So, yeah. I mean, it's still... stuff like this is just entertaining to watch, right? Like, there's just so much brawling. It's really... It's a lot more, in these kind of games, it's a lot more about well-executed spellcasting that really than, you know, strategic intricacies. Oh, that sounded way too...
Going up to mid one, GH gonna get the rolling in. Remember, they've got the kick, follow-up, and Miracles get the jumps forward through, and mid one having a very hard time getting away. He's got support, however. Ursa, silenced up for the moment. No will-o-wisp, 2 seconds on cooldown. Ursa needs more time to survive. The Essence Ring and the Blinding Light might provide exactly that for the Soulbind. You're in range, it's a double rupture. You have to stand on the ground and fight. Miracle still trying to run out of the blood right. He's just on the edge, but still going to end up going down. That doesn't mean Grimstroke gets to live. Nigma, everyone's trying to get the backlines. A rolling boulder forward from GH, just make sure the Bloodseeker can't keep running forward. He'll able to get another rolling boulder away. Can't get up the hill into safety as he's hiding under Meld. The rolling boulder, Saksa, he actually blocked it. Able to get the swarm out, allowing time for Samel to close the distance. And they're pinging out. Does anyone have detection? There's dust. There's dust over on the Weaver. TA will begin his TP away to safety, and there's no searing chains in range to stop him.
Nice play from Wee. He saw the Ember Spirit as the only interrupt for his TP. He was showing on that ward in the bottom, or in the right side dire jungle, in the triangle. So he realized, okay, Samael can't get to me in time to cancel my TP out. I know they know where I am, because they started the blood raid. So this is my chance to get out scot-free. And he does indeed escape. Man, what a brawl.
This is what it was like yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, OG versus OGC was the same type of thing, and Nigma wants to play the same battle. Now TA, no BKB. It was on cooldown for 5 seconds when this fight began. Now it's coming back off. He'll get it up and running. The Soulbind is there, but Weeha won't have to care too much. He still wants this kill over on Bloodseeker, but they can't move forward. The double rupture doing this work. Samel can come in, the BKB's worn off, and Weeha very susceptible. Nothing more that Kura could do in Weeha. Well, with him being
Seb's
down, the
running.
rest of his teammates to pick off Seb. Oh, he's running, he's being kicked, he's just moving everywhere. Who's he got? He's got Miracle. But then again, has Miracle got him into the trees, the jump forward, and able to connect him? Miracle, you have to battle with a bug on his back. In fact, a lot of bugs. It's called the OG lineup. They're surrounding him. GH wants a rolling boulder away, but once again, the Weaver is there to body block him back out, so GH will die in the trees. And Miracle is the sole survivor for Nigma. But don't worry, they'll respawn and we'll go again.
Oh my god. Has anyone hit a creep in 10 minutes? Like, what's
Anyone
the
hit a
CS?
building?
The top CS of the game is actually there's 200 on Weeha. Surprisingly, somebody is above the 200 mark, but man, they're just running at each other. I think OG, this is the time to roach. Like 15 seconds, it might not seem like much, but you have the outpost down here, so you have that protection. You have the Weaver bugs, and you have Bloodseeker. I think they could have killed it.
Are they
But-
moving like they think they're getting scanned to get them to come over? No? Okay. You get your side of Fissurian chains over on the Ursa Warrior. Kuro, they're just backing up in rage burned by Miracle, just wanting to survive. And yet, don't miss their opportunity. They can take the tier 2 tower in mid, however. Or can they? Let's fight.
Yep.
Samel runs forward, gets the steering chains, careful, mind control, and Weeha too close once again, and the double rupture, it just keeps coming and coming. Sep will set his ground, Kura gets hit so hard, the Will-O-Wisp is buying a little extra spaces. Now here comes GH with a rolling boulder forward, mind control just buys back into the fight, as Miracle needs to get the 21 challenge off, he's just permanently stunned in front of the tier 3 tower, does not have buyback available. Weeha has set the trap, hit so hard into Samel, dropping him, he needs one more hit for Samel, he's able to spirit himself away to safety. He'll be back. He's just going to regen with OG Smoke poising for another fight. That's pretty ballsy from Weeha too to buy the Blink Dagger and put his buyback on cool, well not on cooldown, but out of reach of money.
It's in the spirit of the game. You fight. You don't care about gold. You care about kill enemy hero.
Very talented
one.
Kuro. I think they put the Observer Ward in range of the tier 3 tower, so it was a very easy D ward. The smoke now from Nigma, knowing they're not being watched inside their own base, they're coming out. Mid one's coming the punching bag for Nigma when they do this. Now give it another shot. Is there an Observer Ward that's able to see Seb? No. But Weeha sees his target, rolling boulder forward is all for the 25-minute rune, and now Samel, they will get the damage in with the silence. Samel trying to get that spirit away, it won't happen, he's dead for a minute. GH, defusal up, actually no, they're gonna get away. That's actually so unfortunate for Samel, he was almost in range of the Aghanim's Weaver.
And for the first time in 10 minutes, the Radiant lineup is running bottom left. A little bit. Now they're running full left.
No,
Oh my
we got
god, they're
full
gonna fight
fire, we got
anyway.
double silence, we got double rupture, we're on it again! How much life can you actually have? The Enrager Miracle will let him survive as a rolling boulder from GH goes into the back lines. Once again, to kill off the Grimstroke. Mind Control, he's got the Reaper side of the Falwell, but the Aghanim Scepter from Weaver gives Grimstroke all the life back that he costly requires as Weeha totally on the run, silenced up, trying to man mode against a BKB to Bloodseeker. That won't work. The Reaper side can't put down mid one. He'll still end up going down thanks to the control time they had. But Necrophorus, Seb, he'll bring him down underneath the neutrals. Or will they? TP out? Anyone? No. Mind Control, beautifully played to get home.
That was... I thought OG for once was going to chill, but no. They don't have any of that. It's basically they're playing on their position and the fact that Ignis is on cooldown, right? There was no Will of the Wisp in that fight, so it's a 4-on-5, but the enemy team is running up your high ground, you get a double soulbind into Rupture play, and then as soon as damage starts coming out, Bloodseeker is one of those heroes that can win an outnumbered situation pretty easily when you have dealt the damage. He kind of counted like 2 heroes in that fight because of how quickly he ramped up. And their spellcasting, the Tornado was good, the Weaver save on the Grimstroke was really good, it bought a lot of time. Nigma are really struggling now in this game. I feel like they're running out of steam. Like the TA BKB, what's it down to now? It's 5 already. 5 seconds, 26 minutes in. Has to use it non-stop. And Ursa just hasn't been able to play Zero yet.
They're just going to be praying like the 27-minute items just pop up nice and quickly. They smoked, however, underneath the Radiant Obs Ward and they're coming down for bottom lane. And you can see mid one, 520 movement speed, hightailing it out of there as fast as that cloak can fly. The smoke gank will fail, and now OG look to go in for Roshan. No scan available for either side.
And Nigma should realize that this is happening. They've flushed through the bottom Radiant jungle, they've placed a ward, they haven't found anybody. So OG can only really be in 2 places. They can be in their triangle, or well, they can be in the top quadrant of the map, the top left. That's the only place they can really be.
So it's one of those old-fashioned trades, right? Like a tier 1 tower on bottom lane for Roshan. Like,
yeah, it usually doesn't happen at minute 28 though.
No.
It's a bit unusual.
Actually, it's the tier 2 tower as well, not even the tier 1. Well, Weeha will claim it. They're still
First
trying to
tower
find
for
these.
Nigma.
They're
Minute
still trying to find these
28.
items.
Good god, they have not had any breathing room.
And you know the downside, if you don't kill any neutral creeps, you don't get any items. Titan Slitter as well as Cracky Codes picked up here from Nigma. Orb of Destruction as well for Mind Control. So Seb can come in here with the Aegis Immortal. He's playing as the core. They find Mind Control. He needs to mech. He needs to wand. He needs to get the hell out of here as Rolling Boulder forward, just trying to help kick him out of the tornado range. But GH couldn't do enough. Mind Control still goes down. No buyback is available. The split shot from the tower will create a little extra space.
I love you pointed out the neutral items as well. OG don't have any tier 3 items because they're not hitting creeps. They're just